Alright, back again. This is one of my beehives, and you can see that I've got a colonising swarm happening here. I've noticed a lot of activity around my hives the last week, and this sort of attacking and fighting has been happening with a few of my other hives out the back, but they never actually honed in on the hives out there. And today they've actually locked in on this hive. So this hive had a small amount of brood and a lot of stores, and it was a split I did about a month ago. Very weak. I was hoping to actually add some more brood to it over the next few weeks, and what's happening here today is a hive, probably one of my other hives that hasn't been split this year, that is really full, has decided that it's going to colonize this one. And you can see all of the bees from in this one are attacking the ones that are coming in. And I'm probably a little bit close to the entrance, so they might be not wanting to go in as much. But you can see a lot of bees landing on the landing board and then going in. So they're not bees from this hive. I'll move back a bit and just put my old legs to the side, and you can see that they're going in. Now it's a little bit confusing right now. So they're all around the corner. They're all backed up around the corner, and they're waiting their turn to come in. And you'll notice that they make their way in, and then they sort of probe against that wall, and then they start making their way around into that. So these are all new bees that haven't been here before, and they're all following a scent marker. If you watch that corner there, you'll start to see a few down the low there. It's a bit hard to notice, but you'll just see the slower ones that are sort of working their way around, as opposed to these fast moving ones here. So it is a little confusing right now, because these fast moving ones are actually to do with this hive up here. So this hive up here has some mating going on. So a lot of these are drones, and I've also got a very weak hive here, so they're in distress. This one's, you've really got three things going on here. So this had a swarm out the front for the last week and a half, and this one has only started today. So this hive here is being colonized, and there'll be thousands of bees in here by this afternoon, and they may go back to their mother hives, or they may stay here. But you can see that they're generally, you can see them fighting on that landing board. So one will come out to try and stop them, and then another one will land and grab it and then drag it out. So if you just watch carefully, and they're starting to take over control. So these two that are in the middle now are not quite sure of each other. They're being told to bugger off. But if you look down here, there's a lot of bees fighting to the death. So they're from two separate colonies. You see big balls of them here. It's all in under there as well. You see over there, you see them sort of trying to find the hole. They don't know where it is, but they know it's here. So they're working from their side, coming around, and then working their way to here, and then working around, and then finding this spot. And I've been away for a couple of hours, but this has been happening for a fair while now today. and it'll probably happen for a few more days until they lock right in. And unfortunately some of them are drifting up here and getting mixed up with this hive. As they sort of work around, they may be coming up and then getting onto this landing board and being killed by these ones. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag at the moment, but I hope that it will all settle down. These things can not go as planned, even though this wasn't planned. It's the perfect time of year right now for the bees. So, I mean, they may decide that they don't like this hive and bugger off. It did happen with at least one of my other hives out the back. I've had dead bees outside the front of it, and I resisted the temptation to move the hive and put an empty one there in the hopes that it would attract the bees. But I generally have a few weak hives floating around this time of year in this event. So I've got 2 sitting there right now that are basically empty, and if there's a swarm that needs somewhere to live and the scouts find it, they'll take over quite easily. But as you can see, there's bees all over the place, and you know, I'm not concerned because this hive will end up being probably the strongest hive that I own now because of the genetic variation within it now. And yeah, they usually take on quite well if they take. And they're all marking around the front too, which is a good sign for me. And hopefully it takes, because that's great, because next year I'll be able to split this one and get 2 really strong colonies out of it. Anyway, in other news, I've also purchased a house, so we'll be moving in there in the next month, so I'll be able to move all my equipment and get started back on my vehicles within a few weeks. So it's been a while for me to do any videos now because I really don't have the room where I am, so back into it sooner rather than later. Thank you.